For more on this, I want to bring in entertainment attorney Tre Lovell. Tre, good to see you. Any predictions of what may happen with Baldwin's case going forward?
I think Baldwin's got a good chance at trial. The real key here is educating the jury in terms of the movie world versus the real world. And in the world of the movies, everybody has duties and obligations. Baldwin's duty is to act. There's duties to direct, and there's duties for set safety. And the duties for set safety laid with Gutierrez on the Rust case. And so educating the jury in terms of, hey, an actor is entitled to rely on an expert, whether or not a gun is safe, a prop is safe. And by kind of making that distinction, it can kind of take the jury from like what normally would happen in the real world versus kind of how the movie world works.
What do you make of this new evidence? We heard Ryan Bass talking about this, the picture that will likely be painted of Alec Baldwin being distracted, being inattentive.
I think it's a little bit of a red herring because the real issue isn't kind of the conduct that was perpetrated before on the set. It's at the time of the accident. So at the time of the accident, he was given a gun that was declared safe, declared not to be live, and then went through with the scene. So whether or not, he was waving the gun, before or shooting it, it doesn't really, lead to the relevance of what happened at the time of the incident and whether or not he was negligent there, had duties there. So I think it's a lot of smoke, but I think you can distinguish, the incident versus what happened before.
Today we are looking for this judge in New Mexico considering if the armorer Gutierrez will, be testifying against Alec Baldwin going forward. What is your prediction there? And do you think it would be significantly damaging to Alec Baldwin to have her take the stand?
I think it could be. I think she probably will be forced to testify. They'll grant her immunity, so none of the testimony is going to affect her ongoing appeal. There are certain statements that Baldwin wants to get from her, supposedly that she had thought that she should have taken more time to make sure the gun was safe, which kind of helps him. And if she's unavailable, Baldwin's team can get those statements in, but the prosecution can't really cross-examine. So the prosecution says, hey, we want her to appear so we can ask her questions. We can really flesh out what Baldwin did and use her as a percipient witness. And I think the judge is probably going to allow it as long as the immunity is there.
If you were Alec Baldwin's attorney, how would you focus your opening statement and your argument here?
As I said, the real distinction here is what was Baldwin's role on the set? He was an actor, and all actors, like an actor goes to somebody else's place of work, uses somebody else's equipment, and does what they're told when they're doing on the movie set. And to impose additional duties of safety and firearm expertise on an actor, too much. So I wouldn't really listen. As an actor, you have to rely on the expert armorer give you a gun, and they're not even sure whether or not Alec Baldwin would know the difference between a live ammo and a dummy ammo. So there's a lot of issues there, but I would really distinguish, the world of the movie set, how important it is that we have the experts, maintain their positions of safety and don't have the actors enter that world, because then we're going to be in more chaos.
Would you be surprised if he is not found not guilty? Forgive the double negative here, but it sounds like you're saying he was not the expert on set that day.
I would be shocked, not shocked, but I would be surprised if he can't get out of this, if he can't get at least a hung jury or a not guilty. Because I really think that you can show a jury that if you are requiring Alec Baldwin to be an expert of armed safety, you have now opened Pandora's box. What's next? What about the next scene where an actor is driving a car and the brakes malfunction and maybe he runs over an extra? Should he have checked the car? Should he have made sure that it was safe? I mean, where does this stop? And so they really need to show, listen, it stops at the armor. The actor has no responsibility. And if you align from that or misalign from that, you're just going to make the sets unsafe.
All right, Tre Lovell, I really appreciate the context and time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.